All right, so this video is going to be talking about types of evidence and how to use the evidence in order to prove your argument or your reasons. So we're going to go through the list of the various types, and I will kind of give you a short definition and then also give you some examples. So the very first one, anecdotes. So sometimes we refer to anecdotes as personal examples, but an anecdote is not necessarily a personal example. A personal anecdote is a personal example, but an anecdote is a story that you share, so a story shared with you, and you're sharing this story with your readers. So it's someone else's personal story. And the biggest thing that you want to make sure that you really think about is the fact that an anecdote will say things like, so a big thing that you want to remember about anecdotes is it is someone else's shared story, and it's going to be using that story as an example. So uses someone else's story as an example. All right. Now, when we look at analogies, we're used to like the SAT, ACT type analogies. This is to hand is to glove as foot is to sock kind of a thing. But what you want to make sure to remember about analogies is it's just a comparison. So when two things are being compared, they are using an analogy, or you can refer to it as a comparison. And oftentimes we use analogies and comparisons in order to draw out some similarities and appeal to our audience's sense of logic. Now, statistics is pretty self-explanatory. It's the usage of percentages, numbers, or any other stats that would prove either some sort of issue is a problem or some sort of change will actually result in some positive impact. So again, it's a logical appeal when we use statistics. Now, examples are just that, an example of sometimes they're hypothetical, and sometimes they are not hypothetical, but like a general understanding. So some sort of general example that many of us can relate to. So an example could be attending kindergarten. Many of us can relate to that. Managing our time and feeling overwhelmed. Many of us can relate to that. Examples are kind of tricky because sometimes they are meant to appeal to logic, but sometimes they also appeal to our emotions, or they can help build ethos. If I go through the examples of what I have achieved in regards to a field of study. Next, we have details. Details are those specific bits of information that help us understand something a little bit more. So they are specific bits of information. And you all are used to looking at details, so I'm not going to go into very much detail regarding it, but if you do need clarification, I will make sure to provide you with that. Next, we have expert opinions. So this is when we refer to academics or experts within the field and their opinions. So we refer to experts and experts' opinion. Then we have personal observations. So these are general things that we have seen to be true. And then after that, we have personal experiences. So personal experiences are more detailed. So it's like the personal anecdote. So a detailed personal story told. And then we'll have a testimony, which can be thought of as like infomercials, where like they bring on someone that shares how effective this cream has been or something like that. So it's the experiences of others used as proof. And then lastly, we have experiments, where we talk about experiments that were conducted. kind of a lot like expert opinions and statistics. Now, I know this was a super quick overview, but you're going to have more time to look over each of these and get familiar with the different types of evidence that writers use and that you will use as a writer.